The light of grace presents no copyright.
Good morning. We're going back to Ruth chapter 4 today. It says, Then went Boaz up to the gate, and sat him down there. And behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spake came by, unto whom he said, Ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. So it's a kinsman of his, but listen, this is what he's talking about. Verse 12 in Ruth 3 said, And now it is true that I am thy near kinsman, howbeit there is a kinsman nearer than I. Tarry this night, and it shall be in the morning, that if he will perform unto thee the part of a kinsman, well, let him do the kinsman's part. But if he will not do the part of a kinsman to thee, then will I do the part of a kinsman to thee, as the Lord liveth, lie down until the morning. So when Ruth had gone and lay down at his feet, and he discovered her in the night, she said to him, Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman. And she was right there talking to him about marrying her. That's what Sister Joyce sent to me from a commentary, that she was saying, You're a near kinsman, you can marry me. You should marry me. I want you to marry me. That's something, isn't it? And so he promised to take care of it because there was a nearer kinsman. So then went Boaz up to the gate and sat him down there. Okay, and that's when he saw the one that was a nearer kinsman and asked him to turn aside. And he turned aside and sat down. Verse 2 says, And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, Sit ye down here. And they sat down. And he said unto the kinsman, Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land which was our brother Elimelech's. And I thought to advertise thee, saying, Buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me, that I may know. For there is none to redeem it beside thee, and I am after thee. And he said, I will redeem it. I'm going to make sure it stays in our family, this parcel of land that Naomi wants to sell, which was Elimelech's. So the nearer kinsman said he would redeem it. Then said Boaz, What day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar mine own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. He had a wife. He had connections that would mess up. This would mess him up. This would cause him trouble. And he didn't want to do it then, when he realized that he had to marry Ruth the Moabitess. Verse 7, Now this was the manner in the former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing. For to confirm all things, a man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor. And this was a testimony in Israel. Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, Buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. And Boaz said unto the elders and to all the people, Ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Kilion's and Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. Ye are witnesses this day. So he had the man's shoe. The man had given him his shoe. I doubt that he kept the shoe. I don't know. I don't think so. But at least they saw, those 10 witnesses saw the other kinsman give Boaz the shoe. And verse 11 says, And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, We are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel. And do thou worthily in Ephratah, and be famous in Bethlehem. And let thy house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which the Lord shall give thee of this young woman. Okay, so they are blessing Boaz and Ruth. It's hard to say it. I started to say Moab. Boaz and Ruth, and blessing him and her by naming over them like Rachel and Leah, which two did build the house of Israel. The Lord make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah. So she was going to be completely accepted into the family of Israel. She was a Moabitess. She was going to be completely accepted like Rachel and like Leah. And do thou worthily in Ephratah, and be famous in Bethlehem. They were blessing Boaz. And then let thy house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah. So Pharez was their forefather. And Pharez was who Tamar, of course, she was Judah's daughter-in-law that he never did give another son to, and she played the harlot and got with Judah and then had twins, and Pharez was the one that really built the house of Judah from then on. So they said, let thy house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which the Lord shall give thee of this young woman. Now they blessed him, and later on in this chapter we're going to see how blessed he was, how blessed this union between Ruth and Boaz, how blessed it was. But they saw what had happened between that kinsman and Boaz, and they blessed his marrying Ruth, because he was doing it for two reasons. He was doing it to take care of Naomi and to bring a son into their lives, in Elimelech's family, in Mahlon's family, so that the law could be fulfilled. He was doing it for that reason, and he was doing it because he cared for Ruth, because he wanted to marry Ruth. So this is working out good, isn't it? All right, verse 13. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception, and she bare a son. And the women said unto Naomi, Blessed be the Lord, which hath not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. Without a kinsman, because he was officially Mahlon's son, which was Naomi's son, Mahlon. And verse 15 said, And he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age. For thy daughter-in-law, which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons, hath borne him. So Ruth gave Naomi a grandson. And Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom, and became nurse unto it. Isn't that amazing? That though she was old, she was able to become the child's nurse. God allowed her to have milk to nurse that child. Now, some people might not think that's what that means. They may just think that she just took care of the child and was its nurse, but usually when they talk about it, became nurse unto it, it means that she was able to feed the baby as its mother. And the women, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, There is a son born to Naomi, and they called his name Obed. Let's look up Obed. This little baby, they named him Obed. And Obed means serving. Obed means serving. So they called his name Obed, and that meant that he was serving Naomi. He was serving his family. And then it says, he is the father of Jesse, the father of David. So Ruth had Obed. She had, for a grandson, she had Jesse. And for a great-grandson, she had David. David the king. David, whose lineage brought us Jesus Christ. So Ruth was truly blessed. And Ruth and Boaz, they were even greater, to me, they were even greater than, she was just blessed like Rachel and Leah and like Tamar. She was blessed to be in the line of the lineage of Christ. And now these are the generations of Pharez. Pharez begat Hezron, and Hezron begat Ram, and Ram begat Aminadab, and Aminadab begat Nahshon, and Nahshon begat Salmon, and Salmon begat Boaz, and Boaz begat Obed, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David. So this is really interesting here, because it goes down from Tamar's son Pharez all the way down to Salmon begat Salmon. Who is Salmon? Let's look and see who's Salmon. And I think the place to look would be over in the New Testament. Let's look in the New Testament. And let's look in the book of Luke. Let's see. Let's look in Luke. Is it? Just a minute. Luke chapter 3. And this is starting the genealogy of Jesus, starting with Joseph, which was the son of Heli. Now, that everyone that I've ever read talked about this says that this was Mary's genealogy. And when we go down Mary's genealogy, we come on down to here where we're going to encounter Boaz, which is Boaz, and Salmon, and then Naasson, and we go on down to Pharez and Judah. We see that Mary's lineage came down through David, Jesse, Obed, Boaz, Salmon, okay? And David's son was Nathan. It wasn't Solomon, it was Nathan. That was Mary's grandfather, many great-grandfather. Okay, but now we can look, let's look in Matthew, and let's look in the first chapter of Matthew. And it gives us the genealogy of Joseph, okay? Goes all the way to Joseph, which was really not Jesus's father, but he was also in the house and lineage of David. So it says here, and Jesse, verse 6, let's go up to verse 5. And Salmon begat Boaz of Rechab, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth, and Obed begat Jesse. Okay, let's look and see who Salmon married. Salmon was Boaz's daddy. Salmon was Boaz's daddy. Who did Salmon marry? It says Rechab. And Rechab is Rahab the harlot. Salmon married Rahab. And Rahab and Salmon had Boaz. And Boaz married Ruth. So Ruth had two mother-in-laws, didn't she? Mothers-in-law. she had Naomi, though we don't know if Rahab was still alive, but Rahab also was her mother-in-law. Isn't that something? So Rahab the harlot was Boaz's mother. And Salmon begat Boaz of Rahab. Rahab the harlot was Boaz's mother. And Boaz and Ruth had Obed, who had Jesse, who had David the king. It's amazing, isn't it? So they were truly blessed. This Ruth of Moabitess, she was a blessing to Naomi, but she was also blessed. Okay, that's Ruth. I don't know where I'm going to start tomorrow. We'll see. I hope you enjoyed Ruth. I did. Bye.